All right, kind of getting a little bit of a late start today. It's been cool and breezy all morning. I do have the guts out of that one. I'm gonna have to work on getting the rings gapped and everything for that one. But I want to jump on this guy right here today. I want to get him yanked out of the engine bay, and so I can get it stripped down and show you guys what I did to see all the carnage and whatever. So really, I think what I got to do is, for one, I'm gonna have to get this engine stand from up over here, and I'm gonna have to drag it down. Yeah, fun. I got most of it undone, I think, for the most part. Actually loose. Yeah, I guess I gotta go grab those bolts now, huh? So like the day after, or 2 days after, it's a little bit after I threw the rod out of the motor. On my way back from work, I stopped in the road where my video showed I threw the rod, and these are a few of the pieces that I found laying in the dirt road. So I've got there's that side bolt that comes into the main cap, and then a few pieces of the oil pan. So yeah, we're gonna see quite a bit of carnage, I think, when I get it pulled out. One of the things I want to do, probably I need to do before I pull it out, is I need to drain the oil out of it. But I believe my oil drain pan is pretty close to full from all of the rear end and stuff. So I get to clean all this out real quick, I guess. And I think all my oil jugs are down in my hangar to basically, oh no, here's an empty one. So I might have one. I could pour some of that in here, and then I know if I get that in here, top this off, I know I have enough room in my oil pan for the oil that's in the motor. So that might just work. So I guess I'll get on that right now, because I need to drain the oil first. So woohoo, maybe. Oh yeah, there we go. This is not gonna be pretty, I can tell you that right now. Oh, I should take this dang plug out of here before I do that and make a mess. That would be bad, huh? Maybe it's just big chunks, I guess. Doesn't look horrible. I mean, it's dark. It's black. That oil sure is cold. It ain't wanting to come out of there. Yeah, that's gonna take a while. Yeah, there's a little bit. I'm sure there's a whole lot of chunks in the oil pan though. I almost guarantee that. I mean, heck, there's a hole in the block. I'm not gonna really be able to look down here in the pan to see what metal is there, because there's so much left over from the gear oil in the rear end that I wouldn't be able to tell the difference by looking at the pan, because I didn't clean it good enough. I think that was boring enough. Oh, whew. Whoa, got up too fast. Yay. Close enough. I got enough threads in there. Yeah. Well, heck, my battery died, and I got a new battery, and I am to the point of lifting this motor out of here. So here we go. Let me here while we still got some light, and I know we got light, let me kind of give you a sneak peek here at what we're looking at. So let me tuck the camera around. Here's my motor mount. Well, there's the oil pickup tube. Here's my oil pan gasket. There's what's left of my oil pan. What's left of my block. Yeah. And then when we come up and we look over here, oh yeah, we can see straight through there. Yep. Right through that hole in the oil pan on the other side. So, yeah, oh yeah. Look at that, yeah. Yeah. She's a bit toasty, I guess. I mean, really, yep. So there's some of the carnage. Yeah. So, yeah, that motor's toast. See if I can get it out of here, get it on the stand, and then maybe we can get a tear down. Well, it looks like we're high enough. Now let me see if I can move it without tipping the whole damn thing over. Oh shit. No. Woo! Yeah! Just what I didn't want to happen. But at least it didn't hit the car. So I guess it's all good. I really hate working in a dirt driveway. Yes! I guess that's a good way to treat an old piece of junk motor, huh? Oh man. Sometimes working by yourself gets a little hard. Let the games begin. Okay. Sun's actually setting. Sun is actually just setting over at Pikes Peak right now. So maybe if I do this fast enough, I can show some carnage. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, when I dropped it, it rolled over. Broke the connector on these two coils. Just destroyed them. But I think I'm going to go to different coils anyways. At least it didn't tear up my spark plug wires or my exhaust manifold. So I'm actually okay with that. So before I get too crazy, so the real problem and the reason why this engine did this is, let me get my light and see if it works. It might help in this situation. Yeah, there we go. It's a light. So you see the difference? See the difference in color from here to here? This is the cast iron of the block, and this is paint. This is engine paint. See this? All this down in here. I mean, there's a lot of dirt now, but see right here? It's all paint. And so it doesn't come off. See, there's oil. There's even oil under that, see? Right there. So this paint comes off in big flakes. See, here's a big bubble with oil under it. See that? See that? Yep. It's got a bunch of that under here. So you can see this big flake right up here. Yep. And the way it just fell down, that's the way those big flakes are. So all of this paint that's missing from all up here and over here and stuff, that all went down into my oil pan. So knowing that, you know that what happened was it went down and it plugged up my oil screen. And that's why you don't paint inside your motor. Because, for one, your motor has to be super clean. It's got to be special clean in order to put something like Gliptol or some kind of coating that's specifically meant to be in there. And so this is engine paint, and the engine paint doesn't cure until a couple of cycles of like 500 degrees or whatever, 350. What you have to cycle it through some heat cycles in order for it to cure. So if it's up here, you got oil all up in here before it even has a cure cycle. So don't paint inside your motor. It will flake off, it will go down, it will plug up your oil screen, and it will cut your engine short of oil. You'll spin a bearing, you throw a rod, it just destroys an engine. So that is why you don't paint inside of a motor. And my stupid butt did that, but it won't ever do it again. Hopefully I will save you guys the grief. If you ever want to get clean and fancy, don't do it unless you've hot tanked the motor, it's been blasted, it's been baked out, outgassed, you know, all of that stuff. And then you go through and you do the process right with Gliptol, something that's actually made to go inside of a motor. So, yeah, just don't do it. It's not worth it. My other mistake was not hooking up an oil pressure sensor. That would have saved me a lot of grief. But I'm thinking when I got it hot in a burnout contest, that's when all that started flaking off. Because it did die on me on the way home, and I couldn't get it to restart. And I'm thinking I had already done the damage on the bearings at that point. And then, so yeah, interesting. And then another interesting fact, I had water in there, and I drained it out because I knew it was getting cold. I was going to pull the motor anyways, but because of the angle my car was sitting at, the two freeze plugs in the back of the heads actually popped out, were laying on the ground. So they do work, but I don't think it really matters on this motor. So I'm thinking I'm lacking light, so I'm going to get back on this tomorrow. It's supposed to be colder out, but it should be good video day to do some stuff. right, so it's kind of like really windy today. You might be able to hear it while I'm sitting here in my van. I just jumped in the van to get out of the wind so I could record this. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish shooting the teardown of the motor out of the FireTurd, kind of show the destruction. I'll probably just put it to a whole bunch of music or whatever, maybe shoot a little scene explaining it after the fact. But yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Go out there, put on a pair of gloves, tear into the rest of that motor so I can show y'all the damage that happens from painting the inside of your motor. And I'll pull it apart and I'll show it in the video, but audio won't be there because of the wind. Enjoy. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind or whatever, but I want to kind of show you what happened here. Here's all this paint in my oil pickup screen, just like I was saying. I saw that paint underneath that lifter valley cover. I knew it. See, look at it. It's completely plugged up my oil pickup screen here. See, it's big flakes. Looks almost like a plastic or something. That's not plastic. That is paint. See how nasty that is? That's why I lost it. That's why this engine's dead. Look at this. This rod's completely snapped off. And then you can see the bearing is completely, they're completely gone pretty much in there. You can see right there. That's awesome. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. See that chunk of rod stuck right in the side of the block there? Look at that. It's just wedged. It's just wedged right there inside the block. Counterweights are all beat to snot. I don't know. The cam might have survived. I don't know. I'll have to pull it out and look and see, but cam might have survived up there. You can see the rod completely broke out of that piston there. This rod completely snapped off, but this is the base that's not even there anymore. See that? it snapped off of the rod. Looks like something like that, maybe. I don't know. And then there's the rod, one half of it. There's all this paint. Oh no, that's bearing. That's rod bearing. And then there's chunks of piston, my wrist pin, and the top part of the rod that came out of the, you know. There we go. There's the other side of that rod, the base of it with the rod bolt. There's just all kinds of everything in the oil pan. Completely destroyed the oil pan. Completely destroyed. Took out that whole. Completely destroyed this oil pickup tube. Punched a hole in it. Vented all the snot. I'll be able to resave. Well, maybe not. That looks like it's pretty torqued. And it even ripped the, look at that oil pickup tube O-ring. It's all pulled out of there too. Wow, that's crazy. And then it's just completely ripped that hole, broke that bolt off right there in the main cap. See, there's that paint right there. See it? See all this paint? Look at this. See that? That's looks almost like a, whew. Try and get out of the window a little bit. See, that almost looks like a piece of electrical tape or something. You know, I used the cast iron paint when I first did the motor, so it's got kind of a silver color to it. But if you were to paint the motor black and you painted that, you might not even know that paint's on there if you got it from somebody else used. And I think that's what happened to A21 a couple of years ago, when he had his oil pickup screen was all plugged up, and he thought it was maybe electrical tape, or he couldn't, it was like plastic. I think what it was it was paint on his motor on the inside that he got from somebody, and they had painted it. Because yeah, you can see all the oil coming out of everything. When I turned it upside down, that oil is coming out of there, but it's all up under the bubbled up. You can see the difference between the black and the silver color. That's the paint. And that paint, I mean, you can see it. You can just see it. That's the downfall of this motor. And I'll be honest, I would have caught it if I had hooked up an oil pressure sending unit, but I was just so excited to get this thing together and running that I hadn't gotten to that point yet, because the 3-wire sender, I have to use a reducer in a stock oil. I have to use a reducer. If I take it off of here, I have to reduce the size because it's smaller than that. So I hadn't gotten to that point. I got the fittings and I just hadn't got around to putting it in. And so, you know, multiple problems, my fault, operator, builder error, whatever you want to call it. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this piston. Oh wow, yeah, look at that bad boy. Woo! I had them cleaned up so nice. Yep, completely destroyed. There we have it. There's the destruction on the motor. Pretty nasty stuff. Pretty nasty stuff. So, anyhow, That's pretty nasty. Oh, ouch. So that's pretty nasty, and that's why you don't paint inside your motor.